ECU unlocking, also the OBD tuning via. Welcome back guys to another video, and in this video we'll be covering stage 2 tuning on our G80 M3. So in today's video we'll be specifically covering the stage 2 tuning on the S58. We have been tuning this vehicle via the bench tune, which has been a bit long-winded, and we have utilised the stock downpipes and GPF, and today we've got the full turbo back exhaust system with our panel filters on there, and also access to beta software to allow us to flash via the OBD. This will help us tune the car and calibrate the car in a more efficient way so we can get back-to-back results and also test it on the dyno and on the road. So a couple of videos ago we actually did a few competitions. We've been really busy here, obviously development work going on, we've been understaffed and overwhelmed with a lot of customers, so we're going to actually announce them winners today. So we've got a key in here today from E-Clat Detailing who's popped down to give the M3 a clean. It's been absolutely filthy, it's done over 3,000 miles without a wash. Car's all nice and clean now. Like I said, it's the first time it's been washed in a long time, but big shout out to Kieran at E-Clat for coming down today and getting it clean before we strap it on the dyno and start tuning.
Drop us a message if you want to get booked in, ask on the prices, ask what services we do, and yeah, I'll get back to you as soon as possible.
As you're probably aware, up until now, all ECUs from June 2021 have been locked out completely. There's been no ability to tune the vehicles. And as you've probably seen in a previous video, I'll leave a link up there, we have tuned a G80 M3 with a JB4 module, which is a great system, increases boost levels, but it's not as repeatable and respectable as a custom tune. So we have been working with a base map on the ECU since we could unlock it, but every time we made a calibration change, we've had to program the ECU directly on the bench. Today we have a solution for OBD tuning, which allows us to make calibration changes quicker and more efficiently, and we're going to get through that today. So hardware has taken the priority on the S58 platform with a full turbo back exhaust system and intakes. We do have other products that are in development. If you haven't seen the video, I'll leave a link up there to a couple of the videos for you guys to see what we're up to. In terms of the software, it has taken a back bench simply because of the ECU and the structure, but today we're going to unlock all the potential with the turbo back exhaust. Big thanks to Scorpion for producing something on a short scale and timing it in with our development, and also Intake for completing our intake development as well. So one of the biggest hindrances to this car is the cold start, and that's one of the things I'm going to work on today to try and eliminate that and get it to start a little quieter so that we can a little quieter. So the MG1 ECU isn't brand new to us, but this ECU is actually a different variant. It's a CS049. We actually thought the X3M ECU would have been utilized on this, being the CS024, and the structure is very similar, although completely different in some aspects. And we don't have any table data from it, so we have to compile all the regular tables that we use for boost, ignition, timing, etc., and then kind of work out a base, and then we'll look for cold start delete, kind of sport scales as well. These are kind of fundamentals in kind of providing the software for this platform, but also within this ECU, it's a whole new structure behind what we thought would have been pretty much the same as the X3M. So completely stock ECU and gearbox software on this car with just the downpipe on the car itself, and it's just ran 495 brake horsepower, 676 newton meters of torque, which is about right for what they do at the factory. I mean, the additional hardware, as you're probably aware, will cause a lot of throttle closure, and that in turn reduces overall power anyway. But we'll have a look at the data log in depth when we look at the calibration now. So the car just ran 495 brake horsepower, but it did that with the throttle body closing to about 60%. That's purely down to overshoot. And when I say overshoot, it is the turbocharger overshooting because of the less back pressure, and you can see that within the data log, it never goes fully open without any kind of timing pull either. So yeah, it's going to be hard work, but what we'll do first is raise a few of the torque limiters and the boost limiters, see how the turbocharger responds to these modifications, and then start fine-tuning the turbo and fueling accordingly. So the competition entries have been put in a random name picker. We're just going to do that now. And this is for the keychain and pen combo. And the winner is OPC Ross. So OPC Ross, if you're watching this video, drop us an email with all your details and we'll get that sent over to you. So same again for this one was for the Hot Hatch Rivals video. We put all the names in a random name picker, and this was to win an NVM cap similar to the one I'm wearing today. And the winner is Mike Sin. So Mike Sin, if you're watching this video, drop us an email with all your details and we get it sent out to you. So much easier being able to flash via the OBD. Once the ECU is unlocked, it allows us to, change calibration within a minute or 2 minutes from change. But yeah, 1.4 bar of boost there, just that baseline run, and it's ran 541 brake horsepower, 728 newton meters of torque. It's nice to see. No throttle closure, so all the compensations that we've made has worked. We've also rescaled the sport displays and also turned off the cold start, which is what we wanted to do. So I've kind of found all the fundamentals, utilizing all the factors from previous ECU generations, and kind of built up some major table data. Although the minor table data, we're talking 8 bits and 16 bits, are harder to find. So it's something that we're going to have to create throughout the day. So mid to high boost now, and we are at 588 brake horsepower, 781 newton meters of torque. Torque is spiking a little, so I'm going to have to taper the boost accordingly because I want a nice, smooth, flat torque curve, and that will make this car drive a lot better on the road than anything. And we're not here for dyno numbers. There will be, efforts to make it the most powerful, the most torquiest in the world, but to us, it's got to make a quick car on the road as well. So we do head over to Mexico. We do a lot of road testing as well as dyno testing to make sure it's all balanced. But yeah, I can see there's a bit more room there for a bit more boost, and obviously we ain't even touched the cam timing at the moment, so usually that equates to a bit more power too. Ignition threshold at the moment, we're not seeing any knock, which is always good to see, but the throttle body is starting to close due to overboost, so I'm going to have to taper that compressor base and kind of get a nice, smooth, consistent power. What we're trying to do today is get a consistent power output from this car. We can always make 750 brake horsepower with extra fuel, E85 109, but this is a 99 stage 2 development tune, so we'll see what we can achieve today. So you guys are probably watching this on a 15 to 20 minute vlog, but it's been about 10 hours on the dyno non-stop. Every change is finite, and it's so important to get repeatability and back-to-back results on this. You can easily aim for a lot of power, increase all the torque limits and all the boost limits and get a good result, but it only happens once. So for us, when we do our development, we make sure it's repeatable, it's back-to-back, and it's consistent. We hit a nice smooth fueling curve as well. When I say fueling curve, I'm talking lambda, and the lambda on this, because of the high pressure fuel pumps, it's a twin B58 TU basically. It can withhold, in my opinion, about 8 to 850 brake horsepower, and that's pretty impressive from the stock setup, and it will be more impressive once we get a set of turbos on this car. But yeah, let's make a run. Just gone 11 o'clock here in the night at NVM HQ. We've been on the dyno for almost 12 hours with this car, and it has been on and off the dyno in the last couple of days, just setting things up, but back to back 12 hours, that's our longest marathon. But yeah, we finished up today, stage 2, 640 brake horsepower, 780 newton meters of torque. If you have a look at the power and torque, you can see quite clearly a nice smooth progressive curve with no dips, no timing pull, and a nice flat torque curve with a beautiful taper below 2,500 RPM, so it's nice and drivable. So what we're going to do now is actually go home, get some rest, come back tomorrow, take it on the road, make any adjustments necessary to part throttle, torque management and boost levels, and then in the next video we'll actually get some race fuel and some E85 in there.
The next day.
So now it's time to take it on the road, do a bit of data logging on the road and kind of finalize the boost taper. When I talk about boost taper, I'm talking about grip. I mean, there's no point having 800 newton meters of torque if it's just going to spin the rear wheels. And as you're probably aware, following our channel, we kind of set the car up for the best performance, not high numbers. So yeah, let's connect it up and take it for a spin. So what we're looking for on the road test is simply kind of throttle body position, we're looking at boost profile, we're looking at wastegate duty cycle, looking at overall load as well, trying to make the car perform on the road as it does on the dyno, which is not always the case, especially with the BMWs. I mean, the more we load it up on the dyno, the less load we see on the road, so the less boost, etc. But I mean, already it's just, you know, it's going through the gears nice, there's a good amount of torque, and we're still in comfort mode. Car's kind of 80 degrees on the coolant temperature, so it's nice and warm now. So just going to collect as much data as possible so we can kind of fine tune the pedal in comfort, the pedal in sport, sport plus, DSE off, etc. The beauty of this ECU, as I told you before, is there's so many variables to have. I mean, there's 4 torque tables for each mode, setting, knock suppression. So it's very similar to the MG ones of the previous gen, so the B58 stuff, but it's a lot more in depth and a lot more controllable, which is good. Yeah, I've set the overrun kind of a medium aggression, so it's not too loud. The last thing you want is pops and bangs on a G80. No doubt someone out there will do it. Do you like the overrun?
Yeah, it's nice. It's not too much.
It's like a Lambo.
Is it M2 at all?
Guess which one I modelled it off?
Which one?
Do you remember the Profile Monte?
Yeah.
So kind of part throttle, part load, it looks to be doing exactly what it should be. Boost profile and pedal. Fuel pressure's bang on as well, and fueling's bang on. So let's get some full load. I think at this power and torque level, this car's so much more fun. It feels a lot lighter. I mean, I always said the G80 felt a bit sluggish in comparison to the F80, even though we had more power. And with like 800 newton meters of torque, I think it's just perfect. It's going to be interesting to see what this does 100 to 200 and quarter mile.
10 seconds.
It is a handful, definitely a handful. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video where we stick a bit of race fuel in this and turn the boost up. See you later.